Am I in? Yeah, I'm in. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get this introduction started. All right, guys, today we are going to be testing out PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. There's a theory that it really can make a big difference, and today we're going to find out if it actually matters that much, or if you're kind of just wasting your money on a better motherboard, a different graphics card, whatever else may be factoring in. But for today, what we're going to be testing out is two different motherboards that will either enable PCIe 3.4 or drop us back down to PCIe 3. So what we've got set up today is our computer over here. So we have an A520 motherboard that's PCIe 3 compatible. We have the RTX 3060 Ti, excuse me, I'm fumbling all over here. That's a PCIe 4 capable graphics card, but it's going to be held back by this motherboard. And then we have a Ryzen 5 3600, which is a PCIe 4 capable CPU. We're going to run a couple of tests on that specific setup, and then we're going to completely swap everything in there to a new motherboard. So we've got our B550M over here. This B550M is PCIe 4 capable. So once we've done some tests on the PCIe 3, then we switch over to this. That will actually give us the idea of, hey, you know, you can actually get a large benefit from bumping up from PCIe 3 to PCIe 4. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. It's really awkward. But yeah, so that's going to be the premise of the video today. This was actually recommended or requested by one of my viewers, subscribers on my newsletter. They said, hey, I've got a Ryzen 5 3600. I've got, I think they said the 3060 Ti specifically. You know, I'd love to know, I'm running on PCIe 3. Would it make a difference if I went to that? And I happen to have all those components. So we're going to test that out today. If you're not viewing this from the live stream, this is initially live stream, so I'll be hanging out, chatting with people, you know, if people show up. And we'll just go through this, play some games, rebuild the PC, test it out, and you know, go from there. If you are interested in catching the live stream, usually it's a couple times a week during the weekdays, Monday through Friday, around 12:30 or 1 we start. Go an hour to anywhere to like 2.5 hours usually. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video, get started, try things out. If you are gonna come to the live stream, you're always welcome to come in, make suggestions, ask things, and even here on the comments. So let's get going. All right, I don't know if I have chat off or what we're doing, but there's some viewers in here today. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is a 1440p monitor. Ooh, it's a little big for that screen. Cool, so this is a 1440p monitor. I will probably end up doing the test a couple different times because I don't think everyone is in here yet that's gonna wanna see some of these things. Also, I'm gonna turn on Afterburner for you guys. And I'm going, ooh, that's gonna be way too loud. I'm gonna also label it because I've had requests that people wanna know where they are in the video because these are longer videos. So I'm gonna label it so that you guys can watch from your own time and be able to understand, like, hey, I just wanna go to the PCIe 3 part or PCIe 4, whatever it might be. So we're gonna go ahead and label this section here. I might just like, oh, first of all, this is the Ryzen 5 3600 now. So let's change that. I don't know if you guys can see any of these things. It might be too far away. Let me see if I can bring you a little bit closer here. So I'm gonna have it, if you're unfamiliar with how like benchmarking and things of that nature work, it'll all be displayed up here whenever we're playing. So we're gonna be on the Ryzen 5 3600. What is this one? 3600. And maybe I'll just put like, with the GPU, GPU override graph name. We're gonna call it 3060 Ti. We'll do PCIe 3 in front of it because this is PCIe 3. PCIe 3 3060 Ti. All right. So as I mentioned, Arc Raiders will probably be one of the games that we play. I think that's probably going to be a good test of how well this does on PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. You guys, I wish I knew if chat was blocked here. Maybe I need to reload. If anyone's in here and they're going to say anything, will you guys say something? Because I'm not getting anything on my end. So maybe you guys haven't said anything, or maybe I'm just losing my mind here. But we've got a couple people in the stream, so I'd imagine at some point someone will say something. Or I'll just keep talking. I guess I could do that. I don't mind. Hello. Oh, it is working. Okay. Hello, Rich. You. How are you? Chat as you work. Chat works. Chat as you work. I like the grammar there. Cool. So we are on PCIe 3. It should ideally show us up here what we're getting as far as frame, and then also like it should say the PCIe 3 version. Yes, so if you were following along this video and you're not on the stream, you're coming back in, I'll have it over here where it says PCIe 3. So it'll be really curious as well because this only has 16 gigs of RAM. I don't know if I need to go here while we're gaming. Maybe that'll help you guys see a little better. I think it might. I just went ahead and turned off the lights. If that's too dark for you guys, let me know, but I think it might help. We have to load some shaders really quickly, unfortunately. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. While we're loading the shaders, I guess I'll go ahead and turn back the light on. Just kind of chat with you guys. So if you're unfamiliar why I'm doing the streams, instead of like a traditional upload, or maybe you've never seen my content before, I just don't have the dedicated time. So it used to take me, 8 to 12 hours to make a video. And I just had a son 3 months ago. I've got a 2-year-old kid. I run a business outside of this. So like life is just too busy to sit down and like put that much time and effort towards one piece of content. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos before, it'd be like, so the most popular one I have is, how much GPU can a Ryzen 5 5500 handle? I think I put 4 different graphics cards in that video with a Ryzen 5 5500. And wow, this is really messed up here. I think I put 4 different graphics cards in that one video, and I think I tested like somewhere between 3 and 5 games each. So like I had to do all of those things for one video, and that one probably took me like 12 hours to make. And that wasn't even with like great editing or anything either. So these are easier for me to pop in, spend 2.5 hours maybe, put it out there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So I think we're good over here. We're gonna go ahead and jump into, we're gonna try to keep all the settings similar as well. And I'm gonna ask a favor of you guys in the chat, if you can, or I'll go back and do it myself. I wanna make sure that I actually try and record some of these things. So I'm gonna do an actual like benchmarking test to make sure that there's like consistency across the board, because I want to know the numbers from this and I want to know the numbers from what we were getting there. I can't tell if that's worse or better for you guys. I think that makes it harder for you to see, so we'll leave the lights off. Settings wise, so like I said, we are on 1440p. Oh, it loaded us into the game, that's fine. So this is PCIe 3, as I mentioned before. You can see up here, this will state whether it's PCIe 3 or PCIe 4. We're gonna start out on 3, swap all the components to a different motherboard, and then we'll test the PCIe 4 and see if there's actually a difference. I've not seen a lot of like any kind of information on YouTube or really the internet of any kind that shows like definitive answers. I see like AI trying to say things, but I've never seen like actual really good answers. So let's go ahead and make sure we're on quality settings that we can like live with and play here. Let's go graphics, borderless full screen, no frame gen, no VSync, that's fine. Let's do, we can probably get away with medium. Let's go with medium and turn medium ray tracing on for this particular game. And I might have to type these in here. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Medium, so let's do arc. If anyone wants to take notes on this too, that'd be helpful. Arc Raiders, settings. Medium with medium ray tracing. That way we can remember this. I have the AMD 7600 graphics card and it is 500. That's crazy that graphics cards cost that much. Oh wait, not high, medium, there we go. Okay, let's see, does this start it? Yep, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and run the test. We're on medium settings, medium ray tracing. We're gonna run around. First of all, this is a 3600 and a 3060 Ti. Feels very smooth. This is a 1440p monitor. It's also pretty large. I think this was a 32-inch monitor, if I'm not mistaken. Very solid gameplay. So like when people are telling you like all these specs that you need to play 1440p, you need this and that, like this is a newer game. It came out, what, last year? And we're comfortably hitting, where are my FPS? Up here, 85 with a low of 50. Quality gameplay. And it's raining, which always contributes to how well that works. So I don't know where I'm going. Oh, okay, cool. We're already running there. So we're just going to run around a little bit, shoot at some things, see what it does, if it drops, play a couple games like I said, and then we will swap over to the new motherboard, move all the components, and see if there actually is a difference. Everything that I read said that there's anywhere from like a 1 to maybe 10% difference when you do that. So I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference at all, to be honest. Oh, hello. Wow, this is running really smooth. That snuck up on me. I can't hear anything because I don't have it loud enough. But this is running really smooth right now. But like, look, we haven't even gone below 47. Of course, we haven't like had any major visual challenges or anything of that nature, but still. It looks really good. I know you guys are getting like some distortion on your end because YouTube compresses it. I'm recording it through a phone. So like there are a lot of factors that may make it not seem like what I'm seeing here, but it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and just fight this, probably get myself killed, I don't care. I just want to see how it reacts when I'm getting shot at and have a lot of things going on at once. Yeah, okay. I mean, look, we're how many are on me right now? 2? There's a 3rd showing up. Again, I don't care if I go down. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and end it there. That's enough of this for me. I will show you guys the benchmark view. So we averaged 79.6 FPS. We had a 1% low of 48. Arc Raiders average 79.6 FPS and 1% low of 48.8. 48.8. Sometimes viewer needs to take a large portion of live stream before he gets an answer to the topic of the video. Lack of title focus content. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Cool. So that shows us that there. Not bad. So that was Arc Raiders and PCIe 3. Let's go ahead and swap over to another game. I think Crimson Desert will be another good example of if we'll actually get any kind of advantage to that, or if it's just going to be the same essentially. So we're gonna jump over to Crimson Desert. I think we'll do that. Cyberpunk, maybe Black Myth. We'll try a lot of the more GPU heavy games. Arc Raiders is just kind of a good mixture of CPU and GPU. So yeah, we'll get that moving, get that going. And you know, like I said, there's not a lot of information on this. I don't even know if there's a lot of interest in this particular subject, simply for the fact that like it's like talked about among PC enthusiasts, but no one really, again, I haven't seen anything that like definitively shows or tests or like proves how much there is. There might be people that are doing it and then just putting out like a statement or a blog or something, but I haven't seen any like video evidence. So I'm trying it. This is my first attempt at it too before, or I've never done it before either. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see. Crimson Desert might take a little while because the 3600 is not that fast, you guys. It is not. It's not slow. It's definitely not a slow CPU, but like when it comes to loading games and things of that nature, it's going to take a little while, especially for like a game like Crimson Desert, because Crimson Desert takes forever. I have an Intel Core Ultra 250KF, another mouthful. That's my primary CPU, and even on that thing, it can still take a little bit for it to load. So this game eats, you know, every CPU alive. So, yep, we're going to be testing this out. Like I said, we're on our PCIe 3 board now. We'll go to the B550 after this. And if you are coming from like the not live stream version, you're just checking this out as a video, please skip ahead to the parts that you want. I know it's going to be long and not everybody cares about all the information, so you know, it is what it is. Oh, I hope it's not going to crash here. Yeah, if you guys want to see the PC too while we're kind of waiting on this, so I've got it in this kind of like all blue color scheme here. Not too bad. Here, let's see if I can just lower you guys down a little bit so you can see it a little better. There we go. The 3060 Ti has this nice blue line across it. Just kept some of the fans blue. Pretty cool, and even the power button is blue. So, not too bad. And then while we're waiting on this to upload, I guess I can tell you guys, I have decided to do a member because I wasn't streaming before, and like, I don't really want to gatekeep people from content or things, and that's kind of what a membership does, in my opinion. Like, hey, get access to these member only videos and things, and like, one, I don't have the time and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do those kinds of things, because then you have to put in double the amount of time to, keep the members there. Otherwise, they're going to be like, why am I here? But I figured with streaming, if people are going to come in, hang out a lot, the membership just gives people to like access to emojis. Like, we'll create some custom ones based around like the culture and all that kind of thing that we do in here. And then the other one is like, when you have membership badges, what are they going to be? Like, I've asked people before, so like a lot of times whenever I do SAG brackets for GPUs, I end up using blocks, like my children's blocks, because these things like don't always fit in perfectly. So like sometimes it's easiest to just go and find something and just push it in there. Well, I gotta make sure I don't hit my finger on this. It's hard to do this one-handed. Like, this doesn't fit perfectly, but like you can find a mixture of things that will get it correct. So, yeah. So we've got the membership up. If you guys want to check that out, I have it pinned as a message there. But you can sign up for that. I think if you sign up through a mobile app, it does cost a little more, but it would just go towards supporting the channel. You would, wow, that's really crooked. You would get access to the emojis, that kind of stuff. Why is this all off? I don't understand. Oh well. So yeah, we're waiting on Crimson Desert right now. We're gonna have PCIe 3 on there, and once that's done, then we're gonna go to the PCIe 4. Again, this is what I talked about in previous streams. If you have an older, slower CPU, like, it takes a lot longer to just compile the shaders. So this would be a decent budget PC too. I think the Ryzen 5 3600 at this point is $75, maybe $100. I guess we could look that up really quick. Let's see here. Ryzen 5 3600 price. Let's see what they cost. Oh, between 60 and 90 according to Google here. What the? $165 on eBay? That's a lie, obviously. Let's see what they charge on Amazon. $185. What? Used. I have to be looking at something wrong here. On Newegg, they are. I mean, this is the 3600X, $90. That seems more accurate. Ryzen 5 3600, $80. I guess I could put you guys in front of this. So this is the pricing of this exact CPU if you wanted to see, or if you were curious. Let's turn that off so you guys might potentially see that a little better. Yeah, I mean, so those are reasonable prices. So that's kind of the price you're looking at if you were to get a Ryzen 5 3600. Oh, look, we've loaded up the game. Cool. So let's go ahead and test this. Again, if you are coming not from the live version and watching this on YouTube, over here will indicate which one we're on, PCIe 3 or PCIe 4. So we're going to go ahead and jump into PCIe 3 Crimson Desert, test this out. Actually, you know what? It might take a minute for this to run too. So let's go ahead and look up the used prices of the 3060 Ti while we're at it. Used 3060 Ti price. Let's see. I know local, like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, can be a little bit lower, but not everyone has access to that. And then also some people don't like buying through that. So 210, 250, wow, 350, that's nuts. That must be parts only. 225, 220, 230, 250. So what we're seeing is anywhere from like 220-ish to 250. That's crazy they're still that expensive. Oh, we're in. Sweet. So we're going to go ahead and run this PCIe 3, figure out, how much of a difference it makes. So let's do consistent settings again. Graphics, we'll just do medium. So Crimson Desert, medium settings. Crimson Desert, medium settings. Cool. All right. Apply. All right, let me run around first so we can get any kind of like lag or any of that nature out. That should be good. All right, let's go ahead and start the test. Where do I need to go? I need to turn around. Which way? Oh, my mouse setting is very high right now. This way. Okay. Looks solid. I mean, we are dipping a little bit, but this is 1440p on a 3600, which is like, oh, I'm supposed to talk to someone here? Am I supposed to talk to you? Whoa, watch your language there, guys. Speak with the witnesses. Are you guys witnesses? Okay, we'll fast forward through this. This is still pretty solid, like medium 1440p for a Ryzen 5 3600 and 3060 Ti. I am now curious if like we're going to see a massive difference in the PCIe 4. Okay, I imagine I'm probably going to have to follow one of these. Follow the man on horseback. Do I need to get on a horse? What do I do here? Just follow you? All right, go, dude. Go. I'm ready. Oh, press H. Okay. I guess I have a horse coming. So PCIe 3. Hey, Rehansk, how you doing? We're testing PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. So if you're just now joining the stream, we have a Ryzen 5 3600 paired with the 3060 Ti. Where's my horse? Oh, there it is. And we're going to swap out the motherboard, or swap out all the components to a motherboard that's PCIe 4 compatible after this to see if there's actually a difference. Sorry, friends. I don't mean to knock you over. I don't know where we're going or what we're doing. We're getting pretty good FPS, though. On a 1440p monitor, I'm very happy with this. It is allowing our GPU to be utilized completely, so I mean, that's nice. Am I supposed to get off? This guy talks a lot. Here Indian time is 12:30 a.m. Oh my gosh, watching your video, you must not be able to sleep or you work late. Either way, I hope you're able to get some sleep, because that's late. I've got a 3-month-old, so I know what it's like to have to be awake at that time. Not on purpose, not because I want to be, because there's a screaming child. It looks nice though. This is with rain too. Hey, don't turn that on. Hey, push that back, please. Daddy needs that on. Thank you. My daughter is flipping the light switch. Wow, this guy takes forever. Holy cow. I was hoping to get some more action or do some things, but we're just going to be stuck on a horse. Oh, cool. Just up ahead. We're actually going to run into something. Oh. Oh, no. What are they running from? What am I looking at? Oh. I didn't mean to. What am I supposed to be looking at? Am I supposed to get off? Look. What am I looking at? Sometimes this game does not give you any kind of information whatsoever. Okay, I guess I just have to go up here. Do I talk to this person? Read the memory on the cow. Oh, there's a cow over there. This cow? Oh, there's all these cows. Okay. Hello, cow. Which cow is it? This one? Whoa! Oh, here we go, getting some action. Wow, this is way too gory. Okay. This is probably enough to have a fair test of this. So let's go ahead and end the test there. We will, oh, ow, ow. Oh, stop it, you guys. Jeez. Let's go ahead and exit. We will see our results. Got black screen issues earlier asked in your chat. It's a PSU issue or not replace the PSU now. It's working fine. Yes, yeah, I remember. I remember you had some issues with that, so I'm glad that that was the solve for you. And at least that's it. Like hopefully it didn't cause any like other problems for you. So it didn't mark it. Dang. I didn't hit end. Okay, well, you know what? I think we were averaging Crimson Desert was 47 FPS with a average with a low of did you guys see it? Actually, you know what? I can just go back here. With a low of 38. No, 42 FPS. I just looked at it. 42 FPS with a low of 38. It's not bad. No, she kept hitting the switch. I have the fan on for now. Okay, so that lets us know Crimson Desert. Nice. Let's go ahead and swap over to, I think we'll do Black Myth Wukong now. So we'll swap to Black Myth. We'll try Cyberpunk after that, unless anyone else has any games that they would like to see. We've got Borderlands 4, Space Marine 2. I haven't done that one in a while. We have Pragmata. Those are probably all the ones that would be demanding. We have Where Winds Meet. 3060 Ti, which manufacturer? It is, it's a Gigabyte. Eagle Gigabyte version. It's a pretty cool looking 3060 Ti. So we're going to test this on Black Myth Wukong, and then we'll run one more game. I told you guys a couple of the ones that we have in there. If you let me know what you'd like to see, we'll try it out, and then we'll swap everything to the other motherboard. I might have picked the worst game. Maybe we're not going to do Black Myth Wukong. I lied, because that's going to take forever to do the shader compilation. So, Rehaze, because it looks like it's up to you. Unless anyone else in here has an opinion, we can do Borderlands 4. We can do Cyberpunk, Pragmata, or Space Marine 2. If you guys let me know which one, we'll pick that out. Otherwise, I will probably default to Pragmata. Or Spider-Man 2. We could do Spider-Man 2. Yeah, if you guys wanted to do Spider-Man 2, we could do Spider-Man 2. Enjoying the video, thank you very much. Let's see, maybe we should do Spider-Man. Spider-Man's on both the CPU and the GPU. Let's try Spider-Man. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna give Spider-Man 2 a shot. So we'll do this, and then if we have time, we'll do one more game, and then we'll swap everything over, because I have to build some time in for that, because we have to take everything off of, we have to remove all the components on this and swap it to the other motherboard. So that could take a minute. So this, depending on how long this takes, we'll do this one and maybe one more, and then we'll move on and get to another game, or to the PCIe 4. But yeah, I do hope you guys are enjoying this. I know this is kind of more of a niche video, so like even when people see this live, they may not care. But this is potentially something to like people with YouTube and or Google like years to come. So maybe this, hopefully at that point, will like help you see like if there is actually any benefit, or if it's just a waste of your money and time, which it could be either one. I have no clue. It definitely like reflects in the numbers too, because usually we average like 10 to 15. Sometimes we've had as many as like 20 people on average per stream. But this one's lower because people probably don't care about this subject as much. And like I said, it's one of those where like maybe down the road, like you might look this up or want to know. So I understand. It makes sense. Oh man. Or perhaps the people that clicked on this, you guys that are watching this, are the type of folks that like don't want to talk, or you're so deep into the PC enthusiasm that you know, socializing is like, nah, I'm good. Which, you know, I don't blame you. I have no clue. I'm just trying to talk to fill some of the time so that someone like me who doesn't want to go back and edit a lot of this out or do any of that. Doesn't have to, because hopefully it's entertaining enough that people will just sit here and listen to me blabber about nothing. You guys want to hear something that a lot of people are mad about that maybe I don't think is that big of a deal. Here, how's the test going? You know what? It's not bad, Dio. It's not bad. I'm glad you're here, man. So far we've tested a couple games. We did, what did we do? What did we do? We did, I'm losing my mind. Oh, we did Arc Raiders and Crimson Desert so far. We're going to do Spider-Man 2 now. But something that like, so Spider-Man 2 is taking forever. This is another one of those games that like shaders and stuff can take a while. So something that like you guys might not know, as a viewer, YouTube has now changed the monetization requirements, and sometimes I'll just yammer on about stuff that's not pertinent to this. But YouTube has changed the monetization requirements for a lot of people, and they're mad. So it used to be you had to get 4,000 hours of watch time. So like if you watch this video for 10 minutes, you know, there needs to be 400 other people that watch this video. Is that right? Yeah, there needs to be 400 other people to watch this video for 10 minutes. That would put you at 4,000 watch hours. Now to do that is hard. To captivate an audience is pretty challenging. But recently they actually just doubled the amount of time that people need to have like watching it. So now you have to have 8,000 hours of watch time. Oh, sweet, we're in here. And that is a lot for a lot of people, but like something that many people are perhaps not understanding is like, you don't, so I just got monetized in March, and some people get this like idea like, oh, hey, you get monetized. Also, we're on PCIe 3 here. You get monetized, now all of a sudden you're making tons and tons of money. Yo, Brian, how are you? Test Last of Us 2. I need to get that game. I really need to get it. People think that like, oh, I'm monetized, I'm gonna make tons of money. So since I've been monetized, I have over 9,000 views in the last, I don't know, 365 days, whatever it is that it qualifies for. So we're just gonna run everything on medium. I've also been setting these up. Spider-Man 2 settings, medium. Cool, there we go, so I'll remember that. So, you know, I have over 9,000, just over 9,000 hours or whatever it might be. And off of YouTube, I have made $171 from AdSense, but with 9,000 views. All right, let's go ahead and test some of this out, do some swinging. This is really impressive for a 3600 and a 3060 Ti. Holy moly, this looks so good. I am blown away. Remind me of that. I know Last of Us is a huge game, Rehansk. I am, at the moment, broke, if I can just be honest with you. Good night. And that's why I haven't been getting any new games right now, because I'm waiting on some money to come in from a client from my actual business. And I don't want to, go out and spend money that I don't have at this time. So if you guys want to gift money towards like a game or something like that, you can. But, oh, there was a dip there. I cannot afford to buy any like really expensive ones right now. I know Last of Us is an expensive game as well. I think it's like 60 or 70 bucks. Dio, I'll get back to your comment here in a second. But so people have this conception that like, oh, I need to get monetized and make all this kind of money. But like the reality is once you hit 4,000 hours, you're not making any money there. So people are getting upset that like you need 8,000 hours to monetize. But the reality is even at $8,000 or 8,000 hours, you're not making any money. So it's just kind of silly. Like people are getting upset about that. How do you get up here? They're getting upset at that, but like it doesn't actually help you at all. Way back in the day, the requirements were not higher at all. You made requirements on a handful of videos back when you lived in Japan. That's cool that you hit that. Here, we'll just go. How do I change this? City token. Okay. F to craft. I don't really care about all this. Here, I'll be this. I want to be this guy. Okay. Equip. So like people have this misconception. Also, if you guys are just joining now, trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing, I am testing out PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. You can see here we're on PCIe 3. So we have the same components, a Ryzen 5 3600, an RTX 3060 Ti, and 16 gigs of RAM. And we're going to take this on this motherboard that's PCIe 3 compatible. and then swap everything over to PCIe 4 to see if there's any difference at all, if there's any improvement. Wow, our low, we got all the way down to 7 FPS on this. So that shows you that like this game is very CPU intense. Once we get to this next checkpoint, we'll call it here, and then we'll switch to our last game. You were no longer in the program. It was called something different back then, and my life was crazy moving back to the U.S. I can only imagine. I've never been out of country, and I can only imagine living in another country and then trying to come back. I don't know if you were here originally, but yeah, I'm sure that had its challenges. And then like trying to stay on top of it, trying to be motivated to like content creation is not easy. I actually looked up your channel once, Dio, and saw some of the content that you had. Like it's so hard to stay on top of things and do all that. Also, this game looks incredible for being on a 3600 and a 3060 Ti. Okay, that seems like it's enough. All right, let's make sure I actually ended the test here. Benchmark, view. Cool. So an average of 78 FPS. Selvik, how's it going? Spider-Man 2 average FPS. What did I say? 78. I'm recording all these numbers so that when we get to the PCIe 4, we can calculate if there's actually a difference. And of course, there's going to be some factors in this, but we don't know that. So cool. We're going to call it there on Spider-Man. But yeah, to kind of get back to what I was saying about like being in the partner program and that making a difference, like people think that you could just quit your job and make a living once you hit that monetization. But like the reality is you don't actually get paid from YouTube until you have $100 in your balance. So what do you guys want? I haven't done Space Marine in a while. Let's do Space Marine. So like, the reality is some people get monetized and then never get a paycheck from YouTube. They never get that money because they never had $100. And like to hit $100, I mean, I guess I can just show you guys and like keep some of it. So, I mean, I'll just be transparent with you guys here and show you some of these things. Let's see. I don't want to show you guys too much real quick, so I'll put some of this on me really fast. Thank you, finally took out my GPU safely. There you go, man. So just learned my lesson. I went to buy a used SSD for my little brother PC and got scammed. Oh man, that's the worst. You guys know, I think Brian, you probably know my story of getting scammed. It's tough because like you're a nice guy. You're like I am. Like you just want the best of people, but at the same time, like, come on, man. So I don't think there's anything in here that you guys can see that's the worst. So like here, this has been a month where I've actually been like streaming, been more active. Like for this month, this is what I'm considered going to be at, $33. And you can see like here, these are the months prior to that. Like this is when I was taking YouTube very seriously. I hit some big videos. Even then, you have to get $100 before you can even cash out. So like people have this like concept like, oh, I'm just gonna quit my job and make tons of money, but like it's a slow burning process. Very, very slow. So if you're doing that, you need to be in this for the long haul because it's rough. You remember that video? Yeah, it's rough, dude. Felt so bad when you watched that. I was so angry and at the same time I wanted to cry. Dude, it's one of those things where like I get there are people out there that will take advantage, and like I'm usually pretty good about paying attention for those things and like, oh, red flags are up. But like for you and I, we met, and like if you had like taken advantage of me and like tried to rob me or something, I wouldn't have seen that coming. And like if we met in a dark, shady alleyway or something, like I get it. But like we met in a public, like if it was a public place, I didn't see it coming, like all those things, like I know that those kinds of things should happen or can, but like you shouldn't have to spend your whole life going, oh man, what if someone sold me this thing that doesn't work? They seemed like a reputable person. They have a good reputation. Like they went through all these hoops to trick me. Like, I don't know. I'm just one of those people that I guess it's one of those things that like, if I'm going to get scammed, I guess I'm going to get scammed. So ideally you don't want that to happen, but you don't want to go, all right, hey, I need to see your driver's license. You need to show me where you're going to live, like where you live. Like I need proof of all these things before I purchase. Cause like I almost got to that point whenever that happened. I was like, man, I'm really paranoid now anytime I buy something from somebody, but I don't want to do that. So, oh yeah, also you guys, so I am starting, because we're doing a lot more streaming now, I am doing like a membership thing. So the newsletter is still going to exist. People can subscribe to that, but like I have it free so that I can just update you guys, kind of share updates that I wouldn't really put on YouTube, organize tournaments, that kind of stuff. But it's confusing. Like I understand, like going to an external website is confusing. People are kind of apprehensive about it. So I'm actually setting up memberships on here that will just give you access to like emojis, channel badges, and stuff like that. So if you're interested, I'd love for you guys to sign up with that. But also I want your input, like what would you like to see? So like I put like building blocks on there as like one of the badges of, hey, you just signed up for a membership. Like what do you guys think about the channel? Maybe some cool images or emojis. I don't know, if someone's an artist, that'd be cool too. But those are some things. Is there any update on that guy? Did you file a police report or anything? No, I didn't file anything with him. I don't know what happened to him. I'm sure he's continued to do it. The thing was, like, he was so clever about the way he scammed me that like I'm probably not gonna find him. I was actually paranoid for a while because I'd put that video out, like, oh, he's gonna find out where I'm at, or like I don't know. I was concerned. We're still loading some resources, shaders, all that kind of stuff. But we're on PCIe 3 in case you guys are curious. We're on a Ryzen 5 3600. We have an RTX 3060 Ti. We're going to swap all the components from this motherboard to a B550M, and that will give us access to PCIe 4. I understand, again, this is not a subject that as many people are interested in, but I thought it'd be interesting to maybe like the PC enthusiasts or people that are like super curious. So. All right. Let's go ahead and set the settings here. Video, full screen, 1440p, upscaling, no frame gen. All of this is fine with me, medium. All right, so let me put that in the notes really quick. Space, Marine 2, settings, medium. That's kind of what I've been defaulting to for everything. So I don't want to edit the squad. Okay, let's go ahead and start this test. You'll know that the test is running because it'll have the lows over here. So we're gonna go ahead and test this out and see what this gets on PCIe 3. Why is it telling me that I have to edit? Close edit mode. Okay, I'm gonna close this. Let me go, let me run. Report to Captain Asheron. Very sorry in advance, you guys. I don't play this game a lot, so. Where am I supposed to go? No, wait. No, I don't want to leave. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Report to Captain Asheron. Okay, go down here. Cool. So PCIe 3. Also, like, this is a use case of perhaps you should be thinking about what you're purchasing, because you can buy this whole system here for, I mean, the A520 is like 50 bucks. Oh, I have to hit this. The A520 is like $50 or less, perhaps, used. It's a cheap motherboard. The 16 gigs of RAM that are in here, this is 16 gigs of RAM, by the way. The 16 gigs of RAM is 30 bucks. You could get a 1 terabyte NVMe for like $100. This is 220, and that's like $85.90. So you could literally build this whole 1440p PC that we're playing right now for like, someone math for me here. What is that? 80, 110, 160, 380, 480, probably $550, $600 for a 1440p machine, which in this market is great. Not bad. Oh, skip. Not bad at all. Also, I don't know if you guys can hear the family in the background or not. You probably can. Let me out. I'm so impatient. All right, where am I going now? Can I just get past this? I don't want to talk to you guys. Let me go. Let me go. It's forcing me to talk to them. Who's talking? Am I talking? Oh, I am talking. Why does it keep doing that? I forgot how good this game looks. Even on a 3060 Ti, that looks incredible. Okay, I can leave. Hold on, I need to close the door really quickly. Oh, that made it even darker in here, didn't it? Okay. I guess we're not going to do too much in this because there's not like any fight scenes or anything that I can get to that's interesting. Or maybe this is. That's kind of what I wanted to see was like, when you're in the thick of things, how much of a difference does it make? But this is all chatting and kind of boring stuff. Okay, I guess we're just going to call that there. Let's make sure that it actually tested it. Benchmark, view. If you guys are ever curious, maybe I'll also do a lesson on how to do benchmarking here, if anyone ever wants to see that. Space Marine, average FPS, 61.2, and 1% low. What's the 1% low is 43.7. That's a really good 1% low. 43.7. All right, so now we're going to tear this computer down. So now I have to, this is where it's going to kind of be like daunting and maybe a little slow for you guys. But now I have to turn this computer off, tear it apart in an effort to make sure that we have similar results, because the reality is like I could just build on top of this right here. I could just build the PC on this PCIe 4 motherboard here. The problem is like I want to at least replicate most of the things. So like it's inside a case. Granted, the glass isn't on it, but it's still inside a case. It has fans that are probably going to help with the airflow. It has, you know, the stock cooler on. So like I want to do some of those things. So we're going to go ahead and pull everything apart really quick. Most of the time I go through how I do those things, but I'm not going to do that this time. We're just going to build it and get it all swapped over real quick. So I'm going to move some things out of the way, and we are going to build a PC really quick. Or I guess, yeah, I guess it is technically building a PC. So let's do that real fast. I don't know if you guys signed up for that, but that's what we're going to do really quick. We're going to swap out a motherboard. I would say time me, but if I'm incentivized to go faster, I'm probably going to break something. So let's not do that. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit. Move all this stuff out of the way. And now we're going to swap to PCIe 4. And the results aren't going to be perfect. You know, those are things that I try to always acknowledge. Like, it cannot be perfect. It just can't exist. I can't make, you know, I cannot make a perfect result, because when you don't play like the canned benchmarks of things, there's going to be different results. Like, you know, if I were to play like Cyberpunk and I were to go into that one bar scene that they all do, I'm going to bring you guys up a little bit so you can see this better. You know, everybody does the same like built-in benchmark. The problem is when you do that, like you don't get to see real gameplay, and I just prefer doing it that way. So also, I'm very sorry I am throwing you guys all over here. If any of you guys have motion sickness, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Drop you down. We're gonna swap this out real quick. So I'll talk a little bit as I do it. If you guys have any subjects that you're curious about or want to bring up, please do so that anyone that's watching this not live, or if you are watching it live in the stream, you know, at least you can be interested and not be bored. So please Tell me anything you guys want to talk about, or if you have any questions, if you want to see specific games in the future, while I get all this set up to go to the PCIe 4 board. Let me take a drink real quick, and then we're going to swap this. Done. All right. So we are going to take everything off this motherboard, and then we're going to put in PCIe 4 and see if it makes a difference. Again, not all those results will be perfect because like some of the areas that we were playing in will be a little different. It's not going to be, you know, frame for frame or the exact kind of data, but it will tell. Do your kids play Minecraft yet? No. She might be old enough. She's turning 3 in October. So possibly, you know, she could be into that. She has a hard time understanding video games. She just pretty much watches and then wants to take the mouse or the controller, whatever we're playing on, and she wants to do it. The problem is like she doesn't actually do anything. So yesterday I took her to an arcade and she had a blast. We went to a Chuck E. Cheese, which, you know, I didn't even realize those are still a thing. But it's been so hot here in Oklahoma that like we're losing our minds as parents. We can't take our daughter outside. So we wanted to do something that was going to be fun. And sorry, I guess I could try to keep you guys on this a little more, but I'm just trying to do it quickly. Yeah, it was, so that was a good time and she really enjoyed it. But she'll sit in my lap and watch. Like I'll play games and she'll watch me do it, but she doesn't really understand what's going on and she just likes to mash keys. So developmentally, I don't think she's there yet. Oh, where's my little screwdriver? Did they steal it out of my office? But she does enjoy being a part of it, if that makes sense. Oh, there it is. She does enjoy being a part of it. How old are your kids, Dio? I know your kids are a little older than mine. You're a little further along in the Papa stage. All right, move that over there. Move all that stuff. We need a paper towel so that we don't get thermal paste everywhere. Move this stuff over here. Sorry guys, like I said, normally I would explain to you how I am doing all this, but I don't really want to take the stream or the time because I have a phone call at 4 o'clock and I wanted to try to get a little bit of work done before that. So we're just kind of blasting and cruising through, taking this thing apart because it can take a little while. Especially like if you haven't done this a whole lot, building a PC is kind of time consuming. It's crazy though, like you guys can go back, well I guess you can't because it's not on this channel. Yours is twice the age and still doesn't get it. I mean, it's confusing, you know, it's just, I tell you what though, we did watch Pokemon this last weekend. I haven't watched Pokemon or had anything to do with it in probably 20 years. But I was like, you know what, I'm getting tired of watching Moana or Frozen on repeat all the time. You want to try to watch this? And I just turned it on and she's like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And she ended up liking Pikachu. So that was kind of cool for me because I used to actually play, maybe you guys do know this, maybe you don't. I don't know if I've said it on here or not. I used to play competitive card games. So I played competitive Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually won my first tournament when I was 9 years old for Pokemon. I went undefeated at a local card shop. I was like 12-0 or something. But it came kind of naturally to me. So like my dad played Magic and he was a really good Magic player. So like I grew up in that world, and for better or for worse, I think I have some form of autism. I think the way that my brain is wired, I like just naturally think and can like identify strategies and ways to make things work so quickly. It's great for like logical processing, but my emotional abilities are hindered from it. I know you guys may not know all these things or care or like understand, but you know, just some things like to talk about here. Oh man, I don't really have a spot for that Ryzen 5 5500. Oh well, we'll just put it in this motherboard, I guess. But yeah, so like I grew up in the world of a card shop. Played all kinds of things. I played this game called Mage Knight. Oh, you know what? I have talked about this before, I think, because I talked about Mage Knight and how much I enjoyed the game. Mage Knight was awesome. So I played Mage Knight. I played Dragon Ball Z. You know, I've played all kinds of different games. But she got into Pokemon and she really enjoyed that. So that was kind of something that was cool that I haven't done it in a long time, but it was fun. Your kid loves Pokemon. It's awesome. It's a, oh, I'm going to break this RAM. It's a good time. Oh, I guess I could just put this 5500 in here. Why don't I do that? Where did I put it? There. We're going to go for like a record time here of swapping stuff out. All right, I think everything is unplugged. So now we just got to unscrew this. I guess I'll go put these on the other motherboard real quick. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know that here I'm not like doing a whole lot because I'm trying to swap all the components out really quick to make this video and make sure I get to my phone call for work on time. But I also want to get some games in for you. I want to make sure we test all the same games too, so that it's interesting. So where's some... Oh wait, that's the 5500. I need to pull this one out. Yep, so we're gonna... You guys might have heard that. My little one was screaming right there. That's what you're gonna be doing, Brian. Screaming and waking you up in the middle of the night. Our little one, you know what's nice though, because when I first started coming back and making videos, it was really tough because, you know, my son is 3 months old now and he still doesn't sleep the greatest, but he's at the point now where like most of the time he gets a 4-hour stint, 4 to 5, maybe even sometimes 6-hour stint. And then like he'll get, it just depends. Like last night he got a 4-hour stint and then a 2-hour stint. Usually he got like a 6-hour stint, I think. Usually he'll get like a really good first half and then like the second half is rough, but you guys, it's tough being, oh, that's not the screw. It's challenging when you have 2 little ones. We just got the second one to start sleeping well like 6 months ago. Before that, it was like every single night, every 2 to 3 hours for 2 years. Is that all of it? I think we might have all of it out. Is there another screw that I'm missing? I feel like there is. Yeah, there is one. You know, it used to be Legal Guardians. I remember that. Dude, sleeping schedules are tough. They are so hard. And the thing is, like, here's the thing that makes it challenging about being a parent is, like, we are conditioned as a society to not talk about or act like children exist. Like, oh, there's one more screw over there. Like, I'm not supposed to be tired at my job. I'm not supposed to, you know, you guys have been very understanding. Like, I'm not supposed to stop making content because of a kid. Like, I'm not supposed to, like, you're not supposed to go out in public and have a kid that's crying or screaming. So it's like, at home or amongst other people that have kids, like, you can talk about that and all that can exist. But out in the world, like, everything is like, kids aren't supposed to be here. They're not supposed to exist. Like, they're to be seen, not heard. I'm sure you guys have heard that kind of stuff. Come on. All right, there. 520 out. And now we're going to put the B550M in. Oh, you know what? I actually need to finish building it really quick. Oh, okay. Let me do that real quick, because I think I need to just put the M.2 in. And the cooler on. So I'll do that real fast. Here. You guys should be able to see that from here. M.2. Sorry, I know my head is in the way here. Put this bad boy in here. Yeah, that's just like a random thing that I kind of thought of, because I know that when I didn't have kids, it didn't bother me as much, like if kids were crying, or like I was never the person like, oh, keep your kids quiet. Like I couldn't understand why kids might be screaming, or but like that they existed or that they're having fun. Like it never really bothered me. I didn't care. But like it really does, like, I don't know. Some people just like get irked at the presence of them. Just something that, like, you know, is an interesting thought. So, all right. Does this have a back plate on it? It does not. We have to put the back plate on. Brian, you remember how long it took us to do this before? It took us a whole stream to go through this whole process, but now, I mean, you can tell, like, I can get it moving. I just, you know, I didn't do it before because I wanted it to be like educational and explanational. But now, I don't care. We're just trying to get this built. We're just trying to get it built right now. That's all we're trying to do. Cool. You got faster. It took all stream last time. It took all stream last time because I was explaining to people how to do it. I wanted it to be like educational and like, hey, here's what I'm doing. I mean, like I can go through this pretty quick. I am on the tier of PC builders. I am like, up here is like great people that have done it a million times, quality. Here's like, they can do it for a living, they can get paid for it. And then like, here's like, shouldn't build PCs. And somewhere between like, they get paid and shouldn't, I'm like probably in the middle. It's something I have the skill to do, but I would not like, if I worked for a pre-built company, I'd get fired. That's how I view it. Like I would definitely get fired. I make mistakes. I do things that like probably I shouldn't do at my skill level, but I'm qualified enough that I can at least give advice on it. At least that's my opinion of myself as a PC builder. I am far from an expert. Very far from an expert. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to get this IO shield out. Did you see the oil tanker that's burning up in Glenpool? I didn't see that. Also, hey, make sure you don't do like too many things that are like super defining about the location for us. Because no one ever would, but sometimes people, they do things. So, you know, I know you know where we are, but the Tulsa-ish area, that's good enough for everybody to know. I gotta move those cables out of the way. It's in the Tulsa World website. It looks so crazy. No, you can keep it in there. That's fine. People know we're in Oklahoma. They know we're in Oklahoma. I don't mind that. But like, don't be like, this gas station at this place by this, you know, those kinds of things could get us in trouble. I guess that's the backplate for the other one. It's in the Tulsa World website. You know what? I don't know when the last time I was on the Tulsa World website was. I'm just going to be honest with you. All right, let's get this in here. I'm going to move this box out of the way. Sorry again, you guys. I know that you probably were in here for like, oh, I want PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4, but unfortunately I have to put PCIe 4 together, which, you know, is a process. It's definitely a process. All right. So you thought you were getting a stream of that. Haha, joke's on you. I'm building a PC. There we go. I've been thinking about doing like a day of the week where I hang out with you guys and host some games. I don't know if that's something anybody would be interested in, but that's something that's been on my mind. Like if you guys wanted to play some games or, you know, just have a community day. You know, I can always frame it as like testing out a 3060 Ti with the community, testing out a 9070 XT, whatever everybody would want to do. You know, I'm open to it. I've been trying to think of ways, like this might sound terrible, but like low effort on my end to still put content out, because for some weird reason, I'm really like, now that I'm on the creator end, I know that this happens, and I know like I'm a person that does it as well. But like some people literally, and I've had people say this, like, I just turn your content on the side monitor and listen to it while I'm doing work or something like that. I know, like some of you guys don't even watch me. You're just listening to me talk. Maybe like the ASMR of me putting, screws in here is entertaining to you or something, or like it's just noise in the background. Like I know that happens. It's just hard to process that like you're the person that people are doing that to. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like I watch the same guy all the time. Oh, I'm gonna do this really quick. For YouTube, like League of Legends content, King Nidhogg. Sometimes the guy drives me nuts. Sometimes I love him. I think he's funny. He's very similar to I am in the way like he processes things. He's really smart, like undeniably, unbelievably smart. And like I end up falling asleep to his stuff all the time, where like I get super interested in it and watch it, but like I don't watch every video to watch every video. I watch it because it's just habit. And I know that like if I start putting out content that's consistent enough, there will probably be people that just watch it because it's habit. Which to me is crazy that people would want to listen to me. But I know that like at that point, people enjoy you. It's just like a safety thing. It's like people that watch The Office over and over again. I've done that. It's not because it's the best show ever that you absolutely like, you need to watch The Office. It's just, it's comfort. It's almost like you're hanging out with your own friends. And, it takes away some of the stress of regular life. So... Oh, did that get bent? Oh no, that got stuck. Oh, that could have been bad. Ugh, hopefully it works. So yeah, I'm just trying to, hopefully keep you guys entertained while I am, again, jabbering on and on. Power LED and power switch. I think it goes these. You've watched The Office like 11 times. White noise that you only... Wait, hold on. I have to remove the mouse here. White noise that you enjoy is still equally enjoyable. I don't disagree, Thomas. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just someone that you enjoy. You've watched it like 11 times. I don't know how many times we've watched it, but we've definitely watched it enough. Is it there? Power... Yeah, it's right there. Okay. Cool. All right, so we are in the home stretch. We'll get to PCIe 4 soon. I assume soon, because I need to be done soon. I don't even know what time it is. 2:42. What just happened? Did I see a notification of some kind? So, and yes, you guys, please help me think of things that like, as we move forward and get into the membership stuff, emojis, badges, that kind of stuff. Also, like, if you're going to get it, go to a website and go on a computer and do it. Do not purchase it through your phone because it will charge you an additional $2. Every app that processes things just rob people. All they do is just rob. Just nonstop rob people. It's wild. Just go through and purchase it on a website. Where's the fan on this? Fans. Down there. They are robbers. Literally robbers. There. I'm telling you guys, this is the greatest trick that you can ever learn. If you're going to plug in, so I'm gonna show you guys this really quickly because I've talked about this a little bit. If you are trying to plug in cables like this here onto the motherboard and you can't see it, like you can't, like it's really hard to line it up. At least for me it is. You can take these top, what is this, lint dust protector things, slide it off, and then you can see from the top, and you can attempt to plug it in so much easier, at least in my opinion. It makes life a lot easier when you're hooking these up. So Just a little like life hack as I struggle to do it. All right, is that everything except for the graphics card? I think it might be. Cool, not too bad. Let's get the 3060 Ti in here, and then we're going on to PCIe 4. Sorry if you guys are getting to see the bald on my head right now. You need an open test bench for these comparison videos. It's not that like I don't want an open test bench. At some point I'll have to invest in one. But the problem is like people will then complain even more. Like I've had people complain like, oh, well, you don't have a case, like you don't have the side fan or you don't have the side panel on, like you do all these things. Like obviously the test is like, I get it. For efficiency's sake, I don't do all those things, but I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Come on, come out of here. Is that gonna be stuck forever? This is the end, friends. I got a screw stuck in here. This is the end. There we go. Normally all this would also just be cut out, like if I wasn't doing a live stream. But I honestly think I might enjoy the live streams more because the part that I enjoy about creating content is interacting with people. So, you know, interacting with you guys is the fun part. I do enjoy making the video, but like at the same time, I also like interacting. So this kind of gives me the best of both worlds because I can do it all at one time. And then I can just re-upload it. And I don't know if people have been enjoying that or not enjoying it. I don't really know how it goes. All right, PC is built. Dropping a screw into the PC build. This is real life. True, that's true. Everyone knows better than I do. 1000%, I am not the expert. Every person that is in, you know, has any kind of PC building experience knows more. And it's funny, like being on this side of it now because it's just the way people think about it. Like they are the expert, which is fine. I don't care. All right, let's drop you guys back down here. Make sure that we can actually build this bad boy, start it up. All right, now should be on the PCIe 4 board. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch the video earlier, we were on PCIe 3. We just swapped out everything to a new motherboard. Now we're gonna get this bad boy powered up, plug everything in, move all my junk out of the way, and test out PCIe 4. Yeah, I am not good, not patient at a lot of things. It's not my strength. So I end up dropping screws into a lot of places that probably shouldn't go. What time are we at? 2:47? We've got plenty of time. Plenty of time to test out these games. Sweet, you guys. Because I have a work call at 4. And like I said, I wanted to do a little bit of work before that happened. So we're going to set everything up and get it moving. You guys are getting to see like all the behind the scenes. I honestly think that they're like, if my channel starts to get a lot bigger and it starts to perform, it's clear that like it's making, you know, some kind of progress as far as monetization. I think you're going to see a wave of more PC YouTubers doing what I do. I think that we're going to see that. Simply for the fact that like, I think we're going to see that because this is lower effort, but still could like yield, not lower effort. You still have to be really creative and like, I'm not going to diminish what I do or, you know, the kinds of content that I create that way, but it's not as challenging as what I was doing and you can put out stuff more consistently. So, you know, that's what I will say about it. All right, guys, I'm like almost huffing and puffing over here. Whew. Okay. Make sure everything works, up and running. We're gonna hit this power button and just assume that it's gonna start right up. Oh, I need my HDMI, or my DisplayPort cable. We're just gonna assume that it works and that I did everything right. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. Ah, wait, oh, yep, there we go. Cool, the lights are on. Oh, we did it, friends. That wasn't too bad. What was that, like 30 minutes to basically build a brand new PC? There was one different blue, wasn't there? Was that the same blue? No, that was it. No! Oh. Okay, so there is a second blue. Bam. Okay, there's the color we wanted. All right. If you're testing used affordable parts, I think you're right. That's the majority of what people can afford right now. Only getting worse as far as I can tell. Yeah, didn't GPU prices just go up 20%? Can you guys see me here? Is this high enough? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, did we crash? We have hit an error. That's plugged in. Ow. This is plugged in. It's in here. We've got power. I'm gonna restart it. I'm gonna restart it and see if I did something wrong. Yeah, I think they just went up 20%. So it's probably pretty rough right now. Also, you guys, I checked it in the beginning, but I want to make sure as well. I should have double checked this much sooner. I'm coming through this, right? I'm coming through the mic and not through my iPhone audio. Memory thing, maybe? Yeah, maybe. I think I plugged them in well enough. You think it's going through a memory check? It's possible. Sounds good to me. Cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're here. We're here. Awesome. I am not going to give you guys that pin, so I'm going to let you see me really quick. Oh, it's got to go through devices ready. Oh, I probably shouldn't go that way either in case there's a small little kid that comes running through here. Cool. So yeah, you guys, if you're unfamiliar with what we're doing, you're just now joining. We are doing PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. We just completely disassembled this computer. Hold on, let me put you this way so you can stare at the computer really quick. We completely disassembled the entire PC on our previous board. We were on PCIe 3. Sorry, I'm trying to do a lot of things once. So we were on PCIe 3. I'll show you the motherboard really quick. We were using this motherboard here. We had all the same components in it, a Ryzen 5 3600. This is a Ryzen 5 5500, and I just have it in there because I can't find a case for it. We had a Ryzen 5 3600, a 3060 Ti, 16 gigs of RAM. On stream here, we just swapped out to a Gigabyte B550M. This motherboard here, it's PCIe 4 capable. And we've got the 3600, 3060 Ti, 16 gigs of RAM. And now we're going to go back and test the same games. So we have Arc Raiders. What do we have? Arc Raiders. We did Crimson Desert. And Spider-Man 2. Space Marine 2. Yeah, so we're going to go back, test those. I have the results further up in the chat, so we're going to compare them. I put them in there to make sure I remembered. But we're going to go back up, compare those results to see if there's actually an advantage to PCIe 4 over 3, if there's any difference at all, or like if you're just completely wasting your money. So here are the things that like factor into that. Is your graphics card compatible with PCIe 3 or 4 or 5? Whatever version of it is your CPU compatible with it, and is your motherboard? I really can't say which one would be the factor. I assume most of the things you're going to be purchasing moving forward, it'd be like just a cheaper motherboard is going to be the bottleneck. Like that's the lower PCIe. But maybe they still make some graphics cards that are like 3 or something like that. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. So like what this will help you identify is like, do you need to spend more on a more premium motherboard, or can you go with like a cheaper, like the A520 I think is like a $40 or $50, like it's a super cheap motherboard. And I think this motherboard might be like 20 bucks or $120. So it's way more expensive. So this is kind of like an identifying factor of, do you need to invest that money or should you spend it elsewhere? Could you get a cheaper motherboard and get a nicer graphics card or a better CPU? Or like there are other factors that go into it. For example, you know, that motherboard there did not have a USB-C plug-in, so we couldn't use that. That was not compatible with it. This one can do that. I think it can, if I remember correctly. I haven't tried it yet. So like, you know, just some other things, like some of them have easier ways of connecting RGB. That does matter. But if you're just like stock performance, whatever you can get out of it, like PCIe versus PCIe, maybe the cheaper is better. So we're gonna find that out. You're still sticking with less than 2% delta? Less than 2% delta? What is that? Are we talking about delta force? Awesome. So we're going to start out with arc raters last time. So if you guys want to go up in the chat, you can see what I had on there. We had on ray tracing medium and settings medium. Let me see. Yep. And we had just below that, the average FPS was 79.6 with a 1% low of 48. So we're going to see, oh, less than 2%. Yes, yeah, oh, delta, you're right, like mathematical terms, I understand you there. You think 2%? Yeah, we could calculate that number as well. Yeah, because I mean, if we get, what would 2% be? 2% of basically 80? What, is that like a 1.5 deviation? Like 1.5 FPS deviation? I don't know. That's wild. If that's all it delivers is like 1.5, that's crazy. Okay, so let's verify the settings really quickly. I will turn off the light again for you guys so that you can see it. I forgot to turn on Rivet Tuner 1.6. Well, hey man, you just got to use a calculator, I bet, or you're just way smarter than I am. Give me a break. I'm just guessing off the top of my head here. All right, let me, oh, it doesn't have the right. There we go. There we go. Let me change the name on this one too really quick for you guys. Monitoring. So if you come into the video here, you guys will know if this is PCIe 4 or PCIe 3. Here we go, PCIe 4. Cool. That will help you. If you guys are not watching this live, you will be able to tell if you are getting 3 or 4, or if you're in the 3 or 4 part of the video. Graphics, let's make sure it's still on medium. Cool, everything is medium. No way, there's no way. We're wrong. This can't be accurate. I'm gonna get out to the city. I'm gonna try to get like over here before I start hitting this, because if I start down here where there's no like setting or there's no like outside terrain or any kind of factors. Okay, it's not raining, so we have to figure out a certain number to fix that too, because I think the rain factors into it, but we're already blowing away. So if you go back and look, I would think it was like 78.8. Look, guys, I haven't started the test, but look at what we're getting right now. So, is there actually a difference in this? Let's start the test. That is really surprising, guys. Does it actually matter? The rain has to have been a factor. Okay, so now we're dropping some. I don't want to shoot at just that one. How do I put this gun away? I don't want to shoot at just that one, because before we had to fight like 3 at once. So I want to try to find like a crowded area with a couple of them. Cyberpunk would be a better comparison, apples to apples. I don't want to do the canned benchmarks. So that's the thing is like, I just don't want to do, I don't like the canned benchmarks as much. I know that that's like how things are measured and tested, but I just don't think it's fair when people go and buy things and like their thing doesn't run like that tested. I'd rather there be mistakes and things that we didn't account for, but someone sees me actually playing the game. Like that's just been my opinion the whole time because like everybody runs can benchmarks. All right, I want to go shoot at something. I guess I don't care at this point if it's just one. It does feel like I've seen maybe some textures loading in a little slower. Okay, I'm just going to go shoot at that thing over there. And if more show up, more show up. So we're on the PCIe 4 part, if you guys are curious. We just started, we did arc raiders to test in the beginning of the PCIe 3, so we're doing arc raiders now. Again, someone's already owned all these arc. Isn't that what they're called, arc? So we have to go find some to shoot by ourselves. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. How do I put the gun away? I don't remember what button it is. Is it Z? Beats me. I don't remember. So PCIe 4 here, it's not raining. So we have to figure out like computationally what that factors into, if it's a massive amount or if it's a pretty small amount. I think it's probably bigger than I want to give it credit for. Okay, I'm just going to shoot at it. Come over here, dude. Come on. See if I can make any others angry. What the heck? What's shooting at me? Oh, okay, here's more. You guys, we're getting really solid FPS. There's no way. Does this really matter? There's no way. All right, we're gonna end the test there. We died. There's absolutely no way that made that big of a difference. I don't believe it. 101.2 with a low of 60.4. Arc Raiders PCIe 4. What does it say? 101.2 average FPS and 60.4 FPS low. Oh, 1% low. 1% low. What does it say? Sorry guys, 60.4. Okay. Jesus died for you and he loves you no matter what. Yeah, that is very true. You agree real world gameplay is better feel. I'm just thinking about apples to apples is still fine, just less accurate on the numbers. I think so too. I think it's less accurate, but I prefer it. Okay. Wow. So can someone do the math for me real quick? Can somebody figure that out for me really fast? So 101 compared to 79.6. That's over like 30%, right? Is my math wrong there? All right, we're gonna go to Crimson Desert now. Is that right? There's no way. There's no way I'm getting over 30%. I guess I'll just pull up a calculator. RTX 5060 next, just kidding. I would do one if I had an RTX 5060. I just don't happen to have one. I have a 9070 XT. That would be the next strongest card I've got. 20%? That can't be right. 20%? 20% of it would be 20 FPS. Because, or no, 20% would be 25. We're jumping up over 31 FPS. So it's at least 23%, somewhere around there. So we got a 23% increase from going from That can't be right. There's no way. Google it. Look, actually here, I'll Google it with you guys. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm gonna Google this with you guys so we can look really quick. Let me turn this off, or let me turn the lights off. Whatever. Good enough. Okay. What is performance difference PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4? Something's whistling on this thing. I think the 3060 Ti bearing's going bad. All right, can you guys see this? 1 to 3%. 1 to 3%. That was not 1 to 3%. There's no way. That's why I said there's no information on this anywhere that's like definitively correct or right. We saw like a 23% increase from PCIe 3 to PCIe 4 on ARC Raiders. 23 to 25, whatever that number is, I can't do it off the top of my head. We went from 79, basically 80 FPS on PCIe 3. All we did was swap motherboards and go to PCIe 4, and we got 101 FPS. That's crazy. So now we're in ARC Raiders. I'm gonna go back and verify the settings really quickly of what or not ARC Raiders, Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert, we had everything on medium, and we were getting 42 with a low of 38. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you guys over here. All right. Let's verify that we are on the right settings. Bring you guys a little bit closer here. Sorry, I'm bouncing around so much. Settings. Medium. We're on medium. Okay. You guys can probably hear my little girl singing. Okay, we're gonna start the test. I don't think this one's gonna matter as much. This one doesn't seem to be as impacted. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm fighting these guys. Ow, they're owning me. I mean, I think we are seeing an incremental amount. It's not like a massive amount, but I guess in this game when you have such a low FPS, it does matter. I don't know that I need to do much more because that was kind of what I needed to see. Oh, there's someone here. Wow, this is way too violent. I should have turned that down. I think you can turn that setting off. Where's the cow? This cow? I don't know. Okay, I mean, I don't think I need to play a lot more. Wow, I guess I got to get a platform change on my second PC. Maybe. Is there a way to reduce your PCI bus speed in your mobile settings? I'm not smart enough to know what that is or how to do that. I don't quite know or understand how to do that. So I can't answer that one. But we're gonna end up there for Crimson Desert. I didn't really need to see a whole lot more. So 48.5 and 39.3. Crimson Desert average 48.5 and 1% low. What was it? 39.3. So we barely saw any improvement there. Just adjust from PCIe 4 to PCIe 3 should be a toggle. Some do have that settings, but it doesn't always work the way it should. I can look. What did we get on that? 42 and 38. So we went up 6 average FPS. That's actually a lot. Is rebar on Mobo in BIOS? I don't know. We could potentially look at that. That's a good question. See, you guys are talking smarter than I am now. I've worked with rebar in the past, but I don't remember what it did or what the purpose of it was. Okay, so what are we on to now? That was, we did Crimson Desert. What was after that? Spider-Man 2, right? Spider-Man 2, and then we did Space Marine. Okay, Spider-Man 2. Let's do that. Where is Spider-Man 2? Oh wait, do you have a second PCIe slot? If so, it's not. So it's usually PCIe 3, not 4. Yeah, there's 2 slots. There's 2 slots on both. The thing is though, like, it's the top one. That's the one I plugged into on the first one as well. We went in the top one. You can't even. I don't even think you can use the second one. Or actually, on this motherboard, it's only one. On the A520, it only has this one on the bot, or this one right here. So it just defaults to that. But it says on here it is. Hold on. It doesn't say what kind of PCIe it is, does it? I looked it up online, and the A520 is supposed to be PCIe 3. What's up? How's my weekend? It was good. It was good. We got a chance to go to an arcade and play some games, so my daughter enjoyed that. There's something in the motherboard changed other than the PCIe 4 causing this. 3060 Ti can't close to saturating a PCIe 3 lane. Can't come close to saturating a PCIe 3 lane? Are you saying that it's not fast enough for a PCIe 3, let alone a 4? Because it's rated at a 4. It's supposed to be defaulted PCIe 4. I mean, I could be wrong. The motherboard you're currently using, it has 2 PCIe slots. I'm sure only one of the PCIe. Yeah. The top one is. There's a bottom one. I don't know. I might not be able to show you guys this. I might have to like take you upside down to show you here. Yeah, there's one. Oh, way. I don't know that I can go any lower than this. There's one down here below that. Can you guys see that? Probably not. Yeah, so here's the GPU, and then there's one down there, but I couldn't even plug it in there if I wanted to because the GPU wouldn't fit. Okay, Spider-Man 2. Yeah, there are probably other factors at play that I'm not aware of, but from what I've seen, you know, I can't pinpoint anything that would be a major factor here. It was the top one on both of them, the PCI higher one, you know, and the other one only had one. So how do I skip this? Skip cinematic. Yeah, if you plug your GPU into the second slot, you'd be running a lower PCI Gen speed, but who knows what speed. Yeah, I don't even have the option to plug in on a second one on the other one. So we were on medium settings for this. Let's go here, graphics, still medium. What were we getting? I want to go back and look really quick. Spider-Man 2, we were getting 78 with a 1% low of 13. What? Okay, I need to get out of here because I imagine this is probably causing me to get lower. You know what? I need to load a different one. I need to load a different, because this is going to give us lower FPS than I think being in the city would have been. So I've got to load a different one really quick. Yeah, I'm at a loss, you guys. I'm not entirely sure like what may have caused that. I don't know if this is going to be a good spot either. The Spider-Man 2 might be a dud. I might not be able to test it very accurately because I think I'm like in a only fighting scene here. No, okay, we're good. We can do this. Okay, so settings, display and graphics, full screen 1440p. I didn't change any of this. Medium. Yeah, we're on medium. Everything else was on medium. Unless there's something that I probably should have scrolled down a little further on the last one because maybe there was something I mistakenly allowed or did not allow. But it looks like we're getting lower FPS on this. I guess let's go ahead and start the test. Where am I supposed to go? Up there? Oh, I don't want to go up there. I don't care about that. Okay, now we're going up a little more. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting higher FPS. This is where the fun actually begins, pinpointing the problems. Yeah, I mean, it's it's interesting to understand like what causes it and why. Can I get up here, please? Okay, pinpoint, scan. What am I looking for? Preparing, analyzing. Wow, this particular area is just terrible. It is very it's much lower on the FPS. Okay. What am I supposed to be looking at here? Can I abandon this mission? Blocked. Yeah, this is definitely lower FPS. But whenever I got out into the city, it was higher. How do I do that? Okay, am I supposed to? Oh, here we go. Oh, that was clearly not it. What does this do? I don't know how to play this game, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't think this one's going to be very accurate because I was just swinging around the city and the FPS was a lot higher. All right, what am I supposed to do with this? Hello? Okay, well. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be as accurate. I think Spider-Man's going to be messed up, but we'll go ahead and record it just because. So this one will reflect lower. This is where sometimes doing can benchmarks are better. So average Spider-Man 2, average FPS, 70.7, because I think we were higher. 70.7, 1%. Low. And 48.8. What were we getting before? 78.1 and a 13.5. Okay, so there is a massive factor there that we bumped up 30 FPS. So we went down on the average, but we gained 30 FPS, but I mean, that can't always be accurate because we could have just dropped because we were swinging in the city or something. So we're going to try Space Marine 2 last. We're on PCIe 4 right now. We tried PCIe 3. If you want to go back through the chat, you can kind of go through the messages and see like what some of those averages were. You'll see my messages there. Otherwise, if you're coming from this and you are like not watching on the live stream, you guys will be able to check out. I guess maybe someone will timestamp it. I won't timestamp it. I won't remember. But if you just kind of go to like the start of each game, you'll be able to see it. And I have it listed up here in the corner, like if it's PCIe 3 or PCIe 4. So probably also my reaction will help you. Like, oh, there was a 31, FPS increase from Arc Raiders PCIe 3 to PCIe 4. But yeah. So we're gonna get Space Marine 2 last, and then that will conclude our test. Hopefully this doesn't need shaders. And hopefully, you guys are, like I said, a lot of you guys are probably smarter than I am and can pinpoint problems and failures more than I can. But this has been interesting so far. I didn't expect there to be any kind of results or difference whatsoever. But we've seen results in 2 different games. One game we saw a drop, which, when you make mistakes, that will probably happen. But that's where we're at. So we're waiting on this to load up. Man, that's wild. If it actually does make a difference or matter, that's pretty cool, to be honest, though. But at the same time, like, how much more does a PCIe 3 capable board cost, or how much less does it cost in comparison to a 4? Are you better off just taking that difference and getting a better graphics card, or Yeah, so just food for thought, and like a lot of you guys are mentioning, like BIOS settings, or MSI Afterburn is something disabled that I'm not aware of. Like those are all things that we could tinker with and it could find even more. I don't have the time to devote to that right now, but it is curious, and maybe we have to redo the test and go further into it. So. Oh, it's getting hot in my room. Okay, cool. So we were on medium settings before. We'll verify that we are still on medium settings. Maybe I'll drop you guys down a little bit here. There we go. All right, let's verify that we are on medium settings. Video, medium, still on medium. Okay. I am gonna feel really bad if I end up in a fight here, but oh well. I don't remember what we were getting on average. Can I skip all this? Apparently I cannot. All right, sorry guys. XL16 or X8. This should be 16. This should be 16. The B550M should be. Here, we'll look it up while we're waiting on that to chat. All right, B550M XL16, or not 15, 16. It shouldn't matter. It should be, I meant to type 16 here, obviously. It should be 16, and the 3060 Ti is also 16, right? Yeah, it's 16, and then 3060 Ti, whoops, sorry guys. 3060 Ti is also 3060 Ti XL16. Yeah, it's a PCIe 4x16, so it shouldn't make a difference. Do you have GPUs handy? I don't. The card is bottleneck even PCIe 3. The fact that max data doesn't even saturate yet alone is 16 lane. Yeah, game time. I'm not sure I understand. You're a little advanced from what I'm capable of understanding at this point. So you're saying that PCIe 3x8 can handle faster than what the 3060 Ti is putting out? Yeah, so it should have been 16 on both, but it's 3 and 16 on the A520. Customize your war gear? I don't really care about this. Okay, cool. Here I am. All right, I customized. Can we move forward? Now what? Armoring hall. Okay, I did it. Okay, leave me alone. Let me go fight now. All right, all that's done. Thanks, you're welcome. All right, where do I go now? Can I leave this? Proceed to launch bay. All right, let me do something here, you guys. Wait, why is it saying that I have a low of 0? Why does it say I have a low of 0 right now? That's crazy. I think this is already higher. If I remember correctly, I think we were getting 50 FPS, which again, can still be user error. All right, let me go. Let me do something else. Can I get out of here, bud? Skeleton dude. I have not played enough Space Marine 2 to know what's happening, by the way. Next operation requires a combined efforts of 2 squads. Find out. Oh, okay, cool. Whatever you're telling me to do there, friends. Assemble. We didn't really get into any fights, so I feel like it would skew it a lot if I were to do that. Can I skip this? Okay. Must have bugged out. Might need to restart MSI Afterburner. That's possible. Oh, this isn't fair if it's going to say we're getting 100 FPS. Now, I need to be better about getting GPU-Z Is that the one that can also test RAM speed? I can't remember which one tests RAM speed. Those are all skills and things that like you have to learn over time. And I have not been in the space long enough to have tinkered with those yet. But we will get there. Skip. Oh, yeah. See, I don't want to get into gunfights. I feel like that's going to be enough. If we go get in these gunfights, it's going to skew the results. So let's make sure that we actually have benchmark, view. All right, 57.4. 57.4 with a low of 0. So that's not accurate. But we had an average. Space Marine 2, average FPS 57.2. Low was bugged. Okay, so let's close out of that. Quit here. Turn the light back on. Oh, it's 57.4. Oh, good correction. Tech Power Up GPUs is a great tool to get sensors for all things available and info on card functions. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking like GPU, like temperature, like core temperature, outer temperature, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that I need to improve on as like a content creator. So what were we at before? Space Marine 2, we were getting 61.2. So you only recommend GPUs you see what the GPU is actually running at. It's also helpful to use the expected you have a scam graphics card. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's a good way to look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and record an outro really quickly for you guys and then engage with the chat and then get out here. That way I can just kind of talk to the people that are not watching this live. Whoops. And then we're going to call it a day. Oh, I'm almost tripping on some wires in here. Is my head in this? Let's make sure my head in this. Yeah, I went through and did GPU. I went through and did DDU on this one. So the 3060 Ti should have the correct drivers on it. I did that Friday for it. All right, guys. I'm going to pull this back here a little bit better. All right, guys, so we had a chance to check out PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. I'm not an expert in this, so perhaps we did some things wrong, but we did see one really significant and one kind of significant results improvement, and then the other two were actually a little bit lower and probably user error. So we've had a lot of people in the chat kind of point out there were probably some factors that played in that I'm not aware of, that we didn't look at, that we didn't take into consideration, but it did show that like in some cases, perhaps there could be a difference. And with arc raters, there was a massive jump because there was not rain and there might have been other factors that I didn't know or think of. So in this particular experiment, I didn't see enough data to think that it's probably worth the PCIe 4 versus PCIe 3. Maybe, across a bigger test, more games. There were some cases where it definitely felt like it was an improvement, but again, there could be outside factors. So without a massive test to prove this, I haven't seen anything done, and I would challenge other people to maybe give it a shot and put your results in the chat or in this YouTube video comments. But yeah, so that felt like it was a pretty good spot to call it there. If you guys are interested, please consider getting a membership. I do have that on there available. We're going to start talking about what emojis will be available and what we're going to do as far as like the badges, if you've been on for like a month, 3 months, 6 months, all that kind of stuff. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, consider leaving a like on it. And I'm going to go back to the chat now, but I hope you guys have a great day. Hey, Brian, good to see you, man. I hope you have a good day too. Awesome. So I'd be curious what you guys think about it. Don't worry, it's like a highway. You have the number of people on each lane and the speed of each people. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's... so yeah, I don't know. I know that there's some questions on here about if things were done correctly, which is obviously a valid question. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I am probably calling it. I know we've got some people in here still, but I've got some other obligations I need to jump into. So I really am grateful that you guys showed up. It was funny because like the first probably 10-15 minutes of the chat, usually 1 or 2 people kind of trickle in and start talking, but they didn't. So I was like, oh man, is the stream on? is the chat off? Like I was very confused, but then we ended up having a very active chat. So it's really nice that you guys come in and just kind of help occupy some of the time and keep me engaged, because it can be kind of tough just talking to a camera for hour and a half to 2.5 hours. How long we've been on here? 2 hours. So again, appreciate you guys. And like I said, if you are interested, you know, we do have the membership. It's in the pinned comments. If you are interested in signing up for that and supporting the channel, you know, you get shouted out, you get access to the emojis, the badges. But please don't do it from like a mobile device. Log into a web browser and do it, because you get charged like an extra $2 or whatever that convenience fee is to go through a mobile purchase. And then also I am still doing the PC giveaway, so I think I have that linked in the description. You can check out the newsletter. We'll update you guys of upcoming content, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for all showing up. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will catch you. I think we're going to be doing something tomorrow. We're going to be talking about RAM. So we're going to do 8 verse 16 verse 32 verse 48. That's the goal and the hope. Kind of similar to today. Use a PC gamers. Ooh, yeah, exactly. I think that's the goal. So these are, what we have in here are 2 8 gig sticks, and then I have 2 16 gig sticks. So we will probably play around with that tomorrow and see if that has any kind of factor influence in it. And then from there, I don't know what we're going to do the rest of the week, because I have not figured it out yet. But I'm going to try to stream anywhere from like 2 to 5 times a week, ideally. So if you enjoy it, you know, consider. I don't like asking people to subscribe, but if you do enjoy it and you're watching the stream, you know, just keep an eye out for it. I usually try to go live around 12:30 to 1. So yeah.